Greetings, New Beginning Church, and I hope that you are doing well on this Thursday morning. I wanted to quickly send a video message to you just to share my heart and a few different things that are coming up over the next few days into the weekend that are important events that I would love to be able to see the church, our church, jump in and be a part of. As many of you are aware, one of the major cultural issues and concerns of our day surrounds racial reconciliation and all of the various different issues that surround it. I've spent most of this week spending time on calls with pastors and individuals that are a part of the Black community, with our Frederick police chief, and with many others who are a part of all of these conversations that are taking place locally. And as a part of all of that, I've been meeting with the Evangelical Ministerial Fellowship, the EMF, which is a group of evangelical pastors in the Frederick area who gather together often to be able to talk about things that are going on in our community and how the church, specifically the evangelical church, can respond well to this. The EMF is beginning to take the lead, desiring for the church to be in a place of leadership, seeking to bring about racial reconciliation and positive change in our communities. And so, there's a few different things that are going on this week that I would like to make sure that we're all aware of, that are all a part of this conversation and would be a wonderful opportunity for each of us to engage in what I believe is the path forward for any sort of change in these types of situations. It offers us the ability to listen. It always starts with us hearing the stories of others and being able to listen to their stories, because I guarantee you that other people's stories are going to be very different than yours. And we only know what others are starting to go through, or even have any idea, if we listen. And then we begin to learn. As we listen, we learn different perspectives and the ways that things are different for certain groups or individuals. And then we begin to process those. And that's often a raw, in-community type of practice where we misstep, we misspeak, we process these things so we might be able to move forward and understand and change. And so over the next few days, there are 3 different events that I would like to welcome you to, invite you to be a part of with me. The first is tonight, Thursday evening at 7 o'clock p.m. I've invited Pastor Darren Gerald of Strong Tower Christian Church, who is also the president of the Evangelical Ministerial Fellowship and a good friend of mine. I've invited him to come and to speak about racial reconciliation. Pastor Darren is a Black pastor in our community who pastors a very diverse church. He is a great voice, and a great voice of reason and understanding to help us to be able to begin to listen and to learn from another's perspective and to hear the hurt and the pain of the Black community and how we can be a part of helping and bringing about positive change. I encourage you to jump on that call. We have other churches, even beyond ours, that are beginning to hear about this and have asked that they can be a part of it. And so this is going to be a great opportunity for the church to gather and to be about listening and learning and processing together. The second event that I want to share with you is coming up tomorrow on Friday afternoon. Many of you may be aware who live in the Frederick area that there is a protest that is scheduled for 5 o'clock p.m. in Frederick to engage and to peacefully protest some of the situations that are going on and seek after racial reconciliation in our communities and in our country. The EMF, the Evangelical Ministerial Fellowship, has felt that it is very important that the church have a presence alongside the Black community as they gather to protest. As such, the churches of the EMF have decided that it would be a wonderful show of solidarity for the church to gather at 3:30 p.m. in Frederick at the corner of All Saints and East Street. There's a bus station there right near Carroll Creek, and we're going to gather for prayer. And we're going to gather for worship. And we're going to pray for God to bring about peace, for God to bring about change, for God to bring about reconciliation in our community and in our country. And so this is going to be a really wonderful God moment to come and to join us with face masks, to come and to join us with hand sanitizer and to socially distance and all of those things, but to come and to join together to pray and to worship and to see Christ in the midst of these moments. And then that group, the church gathered, is planning then to walk up Carroll Creek to then join in solidarity with our Black community during the protest at 5 o'clock. And I would encourage you, if you even would like to learn or listen or understand a little bit more, to try to come out and to be a part of this. I will be there, and I know that there are others that will be there, and most of the evangelical pastors in our community are planning to be present to this particular event and to these particular times. And then finally, the third thing that I'd like to invite you to be a part of is something that has come from the Church of the Nazarene General Office. The general superintendents, there are 6 of them in the Church of the Nazarene, have gathered together and they have called upon the Church of the Nazarene around the world, but specifically in the United States and Canada, to spend this Sunday, June 7th, and to call us to a day of prayer and fasting. In recognition that there is a need for reconciliation, that there is a need for conversation, there's a need for God to move in our communities and in our country. The Church of the Nazarene is calling all of its members to give up something this Sunday. Maybe that's taking a day and fasting from food. Maybe that's taking a day and fasting from our devices. Maybe that's taking a day and fasting from TV. Maybe that's taking a day and fasting from something else that is there, but taking a day and fasting from something and then to spend that time specifically and especially praying for the reconciliation between races, the reconciliation between things that are going on, and the sin that so seems to abound in our world in these days. Church, hear my heart on this. I think that these are important moments where the church needs to be seen, needs to be present, needs to be a part of seeking Christ in the midst of difficult, tense, and very uncertain moments. And so you're invited to all of these things, to come with a posture of listening, to come with a posture of wanting to learn, to come with a posture of trying to process and to understand, and to come with a posture of prayerfully seeking Christ, to move and to work, and to bring reconciliation to our communities. These are going to be impactful moments for the kingdom of God and for God's work and will to be done on earth as it is in heaven. I hope to see you this week at various different opportunities, whether online or in person. And I hope that you will have a great rest of your week, seeking to be the people of God where He has planted you. Peace be with you.